All right, everybody, welcome to the webinar today. My name is Scott Pierce at Listings to Leads, and this is the Just Sold Challenge for December 2021. And before we get into it, I'm going to review with you a simple and easy plan to make over $250,000 a year in real estate. So I know that sounds absolutely nuts, but let's roll through this. And if you understand this, it's going to give you the reason why and the how as to what you're doing with listings to leads and really any of your marketing, right? Any of your marketing or advertising. This quick presentation, probably about 10 to 15 minutes here, I think will help lay the groundwork so that you've got a much better understanding. And I know for me, when I understand the big picture, I understand the why, and I understand the how, the doing becomes a lot easier because I get the short-term reasons, I get the long-term reasons, and it just makes a lot more sense. I hope the same will be true with all of you here. So let's get to it, a simple and easy plan. All right. So first of all, let's just hear from one of the top coaches in real estate.
Are you sick and tired of spending ridiculous money on lead generation only to find that the leads you get are crap anyway? Are you ready to get the best dollar for dollar lead gen and technology tool in the real estate industry today? Let me tell you, I'm standing with one of the smartest people in the industry, Scott Pierce. This guy is no dummy. This guy is so smart that he took all the stuff the big expensive companies are doing and more and packed it into a product that it's at a price point that will blow everybody else away. In fact, I've got people at every tier, tier 1 through tier 7. I've got people at literally every tier using Scott's product, which is listings to leads. I'm not kidding you guys. This is the best dollar for dollar product in the real estate industry, bar none. I will stake my reputation on it.
All right, so I just showed that to everybody because we got coaches from Tom Ferry to Jared James to Michael Hollickson at Club Wealth right there. Tons of people at EXP, at Keller Williams, trainers at Coldwell Banker, trainers at Realty One, right? We got people all over the industry either using listings to leads, training on listings to leads, coaching on listings to leads. Listings to leads is a program that can help you grow your business, all right? So there are a lot of ways that you can grow your business in real estate, all right? There's a ton of ways that you can literally grow your business in real estate. And that's both good and bad, all right? There's so many choices. There's so many routes that you can take. And I'm going to tell you right now, 99% of them will take longer, are less effective, are going to cost more, and are more difficult than what I'm going to show you here today. So I want everyone to relax. I want everyone to kind of take off those shackles, right, of overcomplicating things all the time because you think you're missing something. You're not missing anything. And in this webinar, in this presentation here, I really want you to see how simple this is and have a plan that we're going to walk through. Okay, so we've done a lot of the work for you. All right, we've been doing this for over 10 years, thousands of agents. We know what works. We know what the shiny objects are, right? We know the flash in the pans. We see them come, we see them go, right? Every couple of years, there's something new. We've been at this for a long time and we'll be here for a long time. What we want your focus to be on is fine-tuning the process, all right? We're gonna walk through the process. We're gonna walk through how to do things. Your focus should be on fine-tuning the process, both in frequency, it might be the budget, right? But what you don't need to do is waste time over-engineering and overthinking and overcomplicating the process, all right? That's what you don't need to do. So in the first part of the call today, we're going to roll through how many leads do you need a month or a week, right? A month and a week. How many total leads do you need in your database to have an ongoing real estate business? I think this is something that not enough people think about. All right. How do you generate those leads that you need every month and every week? And to actually have a plan to do it every month and every week. All right. And lastly, how are you going to engage all these leads? So I think all of you will recognize that if you can nail these 4 things, you're going to grow your real estate business and you're going to have success. All right. But first, let's talk a little bit about real estate leads. All right. So first of all, you see the graph there, the probability of close, right? 0 to eventually 100% at the top, which never happens, of course. And then on the horizontal axis there, we've got time, right, expressed in months. So here we go, internet leads. Typically, you know, they always tell you 12 to 24 months out. Some are going to close a little earlier, but the bulk of these leads are going to close 12 to 24 months out. Next up, we've got, well, a pile, right? A pillar, a group of leads that we call from the Southern sphere of influence. You'll learn more about this a little bit later. These leads close at a higher rate and close faster. Leads out of your database close at an even higher rate and even a little bit quicker. And then leads out of your farm, even at a higher rate and a little bit quicker. And so what I want you to notice here is, if I look at the top of that green line and I look at the top of the yellow line, that's about a year's worth of time, all right? If you've got a year to wait, awesome. Don't worry about anything else I tell you other than doing social media ads. That's what a lot of people seem to like to do, right? A lot of people seem to think, I'm just gonna run enough social media ads and that's gonna be all I need to do. And you can, right? You can do that, but we don't recommend it, all right? So as you're generating these leads, I want you to keep in mind that you've got to have your follow-up plans ready, right? Your 5 to 7 touches. What are those first 5 to 7 touches going to be? Because that's where you start converting those low-hanging fruit of the leads that you're generating, all right? So keep in mind, right, you're gonna probably, right, it's possible to convert leads day one, right? You generate a lead at 3 o'clock and you're talking to them at 4 and you're out showing houses at 5, right? Or you're at a listing appointment at 6. That kind of stuff can happen, but you better have your follow-up. You better know what you're gonna say when you get that phone number, all right? When you get that lead in, you better know what you're gonna be doing, all right, to be able to convert and close these leads faster, all right? So keep in mind, internet leads take the longest to close. Leads from your farm are the ones that close the fastest. Have your follow-up plans ready to go. Ramp up your lead generation quickly if you need to. And consistency is the key. All right, consistency is the key. So let's get first to how many leads do you need to generate a month? I think that's one thing that a lot of people, they don't really think out too much. All right, they just think, well, how much can I afford? And that's how many I'm going to do. That's kind of an answer, but it's not really the right answer. So here, let's do this. So let's think we want to make $250,000 this year. Maybe your goal is to make 125,000. So just do the math, divide it in 2, multiply it by 4, whatever you want to do. But I'm going to go with, I want to make 250,000. I figure if I shoot for that and I don't make it, well, at least I'm somewhere in a healthy range for my yearly income. All right. So first of all, what is your average sales price? In this model, I'm going to use 300,000. Average commission, 2.5%. So that's going to mean I'm getting about $7,500 per sale. After my commission, right, 80-20, let's say I'm on a 20% split, I'm going to make $6,000 per sale. So to get to $250,000 a year, I'm going to need to sell 3.5 homes a month. All right, 3.5 homes a month. That's 42 a year, and 42 times 6 is about $250,000. All right. So now we know how many listings we need to sell. Now it's how many leads do I need to get to that 3.5 per month. All right. So let's say an average close rate of leads is 1%. Leads needed for one deal are 100. It's pretty simple. 100 times 3.5 is 350. So we need, on average, about 350 leads per month to make $250,000 a year. Now, keep in mind, these are not exact numbers. These are not absolute, but what they are is a framework. All right. What they are educated guesses based on 10 plus years of working with real estate agents around the country and helping them generate leads to grow their business. So again, don't sit here and think, oh, 350 is the number and I stop then. It could be 300, it could be 400, all right? But the idea is now you've got something to work towards, all right? So that's great, 350 leads a month, but not all lead sources are created equal. And by that, I mean, we got social media, right? Internet leads, and that should be about 75% of your lead total. So in this case, 260 leads a month. My seller sphere of influence, if I've got listings, that should be about 35 leads a month. Out of my database, 35 leads a month. And then out of my farm area, about 20 leads every month. All right, on the next slide here, well, we see there's a little kind of a thermometer indicator there, blue on top, that's cold, right? We know internet leads are typically colder. And then as we go down here, the seller sphere, our database, our farm, those leads get hotter, right? And that's where the really, really good leads are at. But we want to use all these sources to generate leads from. And on this slide, we're showing it by the week, all right? So 65 from the internet or social media, 10 from our seller sphere, 10 from our database, and 5 from our farm every week, all right? And we're gonna walk through literally exactly how to do this. There will be no question on what to do every week, so just stay tuned for that. But I know there's some people on this call right now who are new agents. You don't have any listings, you don't have a database to speak of, so what are you gonna do, all right? Well, for you, it's gonna be a little bit different, all right? You don't have a database, you don't have any listings to speak of, so you're gonna be looking at 75 leads a week from social media, 300 a month, no leads from the sphere of influence of your seller, no leads from your database, right? If you've only got 50 people in your database, let's just call that 0. We're gonna build that up to a larger number. We'll get to that a little bit later. And your farm, right? So if you're a new agent with no database, no listings, and no sellers, you're gonna be reliant a little bit more on social media and your farm, all right? And again, all of this will be available in the replay after this call, all right? And again, there we go with the thermometer showing you that the social media leads are the colder ones, the farm leads are the hotter ones, all good stuff, all right? So now we have a sense of how many leads we should be looking at to generate every week and every month. We have a sense of where those leads are gonna come from, but now we gotta think about, well, are they gonna be buyer leads? Or are they gonna be seller leads? And I know it's tempting to say, I only want seller leads, right? But here's the thing. Quite a few times, buyer leads are also seller leads as well. But in this case here, we wanna focus about 25% of our lead gen to be seller leads, right? And that's gonna be about 50% of our budget, because seller leads, listing leads, are typically more expensive than buyer leads, right? So the cool thing about seller leads is, except for the ones that tell you, I didn't fill out that form, right? That happens sometimes. But typically, people become a seller lead if they own a home and if they're at least somewhat interested, and most people are going to sell their home at some point, all right? So even if I get a seller lead, I confirm they own a property, even if they're not looking to sell right now, at some point, they're going to sell that home 9 times out of 10, okay? And then we got buyer leads, should be about 75% of our lead total, about 50, again, still about 50% of our budget. You know, and buyer leads, come on, we all know, right? Any Mickey Mouse, Yahoo can become a buyer lead. People just love looking at houses. They just love clicking on things. So to get this, you know, to get the buyers we want to work with, we need to generate more buyer leads. So again, this is not hard and fast. These are guidelines. These are things that, typically speaking, okay, generally speaking, 25% seller leads, 75% buyer leads, and the budget that will be split between the two, all right? So let's get to it. Let's get to the plan, the simple and easy plan to generate 350 new leads a month, 90 new leads a week, of which is gonna be about 65 buyer, 25 seller leads per week to make that $250,000 a year, all right? So first up is social media. This is where we're gonna try to get to 65 leads a week, one click. All these have phone numbers. You can use video, you can retarget, all right? All this good stuff.
At 490, 26 days in, 490 leads. I would say our conversion ratio when it comes to these leads, because again, I don't think there's any bad lead, is pretty high. So having the opportunity to just 3, 4 clicks and it does it for you. I mean, it's a game changer for someone who just wants to do marketing on their own. I think it's a great platform, and it's laid out for you, so it guides you through the steps, right?
All right, so Calvin generated 490 leads in a month for $46. So that's absolutely crazy. That cost per lead is absolutely nuts, but it's easy, right? You can totally do this, right? 490 social media leads in 1 month is not a problem, right? So what kind of ads are we doing on social media? Well, we got ads for your listings, right? So in this case, we're talking about the Just Sold Challenge. So we're going to be looking at our just sold listings that are going to generate subtle leads for us, which is absolutely awesome. And I want you to be thinking in your minds, you can use images and you can use video. And I'm going to really, in fact, I just got off a call with an agent right before this one. And by the time I got off the call with him, he was like, Scott, you've motivated me to start doing video for my just sold listings. So hold that thought. When we get into doing ads for your just sold listings, I'm going to talk you through doing an ad for you using an image like what you see over here, but also doing a video for your just sold listings. And we'll talk about that in a few minutes here. All right, ad types 2 are the PDF guides. We can also incorporate that with the Just Sold Challenge. So if I'm running an ad for a just sold listing, for example, I could also run another ad for one of the PDF guides that are branded to me on, for example, the 5 dangers of overpricing your home. That would be appropriate for homeowners. 25 factors that impact your home value. That's another PDF guide that would be appropriate for homeowners in the area. We've got over 50 plus total PDF guides split between buyers and homeowners. All right, so you have a ton of PDF guides to run ads with. All right, and we'll be walking through that in this call today as well. And you can also do video in these PDF guides, just like you would for a listing. And the last ad type here are for landing pages. All right, what is your home worth? Nearby homeowners, custom landing pages of all types. And again, you can use video, you can use images in these ads, and even on the landing pages. All right, so a lot of really good stuff right there that you can do. And we've got, if you haven't seen it yet, there's a new library inside of your Listings to Leads account. So if you've got area videos, expert videos, right? If you use BombBomb, and you got some really nice evergreen content in BombBomb, right? Like for example, like an area tour, talking about mortgage rates, maybe do like a video market report every month. You can upload that into Listings to Leads and use that in ads, use that with your single property websites and your listings. So keep in mind, your library is an awesome place to leverage videos, images, graphics, other PDF guides, and so on. All right. So let's wrap it up here for the first pillar of social media. Be thinking about doing 2 to 4 ads a week between 35 and 50 bucks each to get to that 65 leads per week that you need out of social media. All right. Now, if you're doing a just sold ad, you're looking at anywhere between $3 to $10 a lead, name, email, and phone number. All right, for your just sold listings. So typically we suggest a $50 ad budget for a just sold listing. And that's going to generate between, I would say, 5 on the very low side to 15 on the high side. And you can bump that up to $100 for the ad and just double those numbers, right? So I know in one of the postings that we did talking about this webinar for the Just Sold Challenge, we said 30 leads. And another one, we talked about 15 to 20 leads. Well, it's really up to you, all right? You can generate as many leads as you need, because what I am teaching you is a process. I'm teaching you how to fish. You can catch as big a fish as you want using our platform. So if you want to generate 50 leads from your just sold listing, you can do that, no problem, all right? So when we get to the budgeting and doing the ads, we'll talk about that a little bit more. All right, so the second pillar, the second source of leads is your farm. Now I put that in second place here because these are the best quality leads that typically close the fastest. So check out Chris here. This guy literally moved to a brand new area. He's not from Texas. He's not from San Antonio. He moved to San Antonio, Texas, and promptly used listings to leads to get 5 listings in his first 3 months in his new state, new city, new neighborhood. All right. If Chris can do that in a brand new neighborhood with 0 branding, with 0 marketing previously in that area, I know you can do it too. All right. And when we get to that point, we'll talk through it. But for now, let's go ahead and listen to one of our clients here.
The problem thing that I've had the most success with is the nearby homeowner letter. So as soon as I listed the property, I sent out 100 letters or so. And then as soon as it went under contract, I sent them out again. And then when it sold, I sent them out again. So it worked. So from that, I've had a lot of contact with the people there. And right now, we're about to close on the 3rd condo. And that was a direct result of those letters.
All right. So in your listings to leads account, for those just sold listings, for every listing, but in this case, we're talking about just sold, there is a nearby homeowner letter. It looks like the one over here on the left-hand side. All right. But we've also got postcards and we got door hangers. And we're going to walk through that a little bit later when we get to the how-to part of it. But just keep in mind, we have got some of the most powerful tools for you to use, whether you want to walk the neighborhood and door knock, whether you want to mail them. I don't really care. Personally, the people that I talk to that get the most benefit are the ones, well, really both. People have gotten a lot of benefit from both. And again, we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Even if you don't have a just sold listing, we still got these similar letters without even having a listing. All right, so just keep that in mind. So for the farm, right, using the nearby homeowner letter, we want you to get 5 conversations per month. All right, or is it per week? Yeesh. I think I'm gonna have to say it's per week. All right. I may have a typo right there, but here's the thing. You can either, again, you can take the letter and you can door knock. You can take the letter and mail it. So let me give you a quick little synopsis here. I had a client, an agent here in California, and she went door knocking and she was gonna just go introduce herself or something. I don't know what she was thinking. And thankfully she told me about this ahead of time. And I told her, Deborah, you take the letter for your listing in that same area, because she had the listing right in the same neighborhood. So I said, download the nearby homeowner letter and then door knock. And I rotated with her the same thing I'm gonna do with you right now. You knock on the door, and even this is even before COVID. You knock on the door, take a couple of steps back. If they answer or open the door, something along the lines of, hi, my name is Scott Pierce with Eldor Realty, and we have the house down the street at address just sold. And I want to give you some information for that so that you can check it out. And if you have any questions related to it, you can go ahead and contact me at your convenience. And that's it. It's a beautiful thing. The people that are open to talking, that want to talk, that are comfortable talking to you, they will talk to you. You'll get the body language, you'll read between the lines, and you'll be able to have an awesome conversation. So she took the letter, she went door knocking. First person told her to get lost, excuse me. First person told her to get lost, a little bit more rudely than that. The second person that she talked to was a $1 million listing, $1 million listing. And also it was double-ended because she got the buy and the sell side. They had to buy, they were downsizing, right? It was empty nester type of situation. Yes, we are recording this. This will be available on YouTube and our mastermind group later. All right, so that's door knocking. All right, easy, easy, easy. I get it. Not everyone can or wants to door knock. So mail it. Get into the mastermind group. We have a lot of great examples. If you just type like nearby homeowner letter maybe, or Dustin Fox or Chris Winstead, and check out what they're doing with that. Check out our support pages on that. But a really powerful way to leverage mail is to also use a dialer, all right? And dial the same exact addresses that you mail it to, all right? And again, the phone call will be similar to what you do when you're door knocking, which would be along the lines of, hi, this is Scott at Eldor Realty, and we just sold the listing down the street at address, and I sent you some information regarding it. I just wanted to see if you have any questions, right? Super simple. And they're gonna, the ones that want to talk, they're gonna ask you a question. They're gonna leave themselves open to talking to you more about that just sold listing, all right? So again, door knock, mail it, mail with robocall. Either way, it's absolutely awesome, and it will help you get some more leads. Now, I put this chart back here again because I really want to emphasize a social media only versus a entire plan, right? Social media only looks like I'm not going to really get a lot of business for about a year to 2 years out. And that's very sad. All right. What we want is we want that business coming in a lot faster. All right. And what's even better, right, when we do all of this together, it all kind of feeds on each other. And so when people see my social media ads, they may have seen the letter that I sent to them in their farm. They may have seen some of my marketing in other places that we'll talk about a little bit later here in this call. But I just want you to remember, it's not about one thing or the other. It's not like social media is better than the farm. You want to do it all, right? Get it out of your head that I can only do one thing. No, you need to do all of these as much as possible. And I say as much as possible within the plan. All right. So pillar number 2, right? Your farm. We want you to either hit the farm twice a month or 3 times around a listing. And by that, what I mean is, you know, when we just watched that video, she was sending out 100 letters around the listing 3 times. Just listed, I believe she said pending, and then again at just sold. So for all of you that just sold listing, I want you to either door knock or mail out 100 of those letters. All right, just do it. You're gonna start getting some results. Now here's the thing, try where possible, because frequency in advertising and marketing, I mean, what we're talking about with lead generation refers more to hitting those same homes multiple times, not 100 here at one time, then another 100 over there at a different time, and then another 100 over there at a different time, where all these people just see us once in a blue moon. That's not super effective. All right. We want to build on top of the same 100 people. And then as you get more money, as you get, in fact, the guy I was talking to a little bit earlier before this call, he did 5 locations. And I told him, I said, Chris, make sure that you're able to sustain that every month. All right. Because it's not about hitting 500 on December 1st and then kind of, you know, in January going, well, I got nothing out of that. Well, you know, you did it one time, right? If I go to the gym one time, how much impact is that going to have on my body? Not much, right? It's about consistency. It's about being in front of these people on a consistent basis, and preferably in more locations, again, i.e. social media, print, and other places that we'll talk about as well. All right. So any questions on that, let me know. This is so awesome. This guy just came out of nowhere, got into the mastermind group and let us know he did one mailing, all right, one mailing, and got 2 listings, and got another hot lead coming in as well. So possibly 3 listings out of 1 mailing. How awesome is that? All right. So pillar number 3, right? Lead source number 3 is your database. All right, is your database. Now, here's something that I think a lot of people don't think about. How many people, leads, contacts do you need in your database? It's about 4,000, all right? And again, this is just a structure. Maybe for you it's 3,000, maybe it's 6,000, but there's a number that's a sweet spot for you. And if you don't know what it is, just roll with 4,000, all right? Now, 45% are never going to buy or sell, period, right? They're probably mostly buyers. 45% are going to buy or sell with somebody else, right? Their brother is an agent, their in-law is an agent, whatever, right? You never kept in contact with them. Your emails went to their spam folder. They have no idea who you are. So there you go. So you got 10% that could buy or sell with you if you've got great follow-up, if you are staying in front of them, all right? And so that's where it kind of boils down to, right? Out of that 4,000, there's 10% that are a viable market. And so any given month, right? With a 1% conversion rate, we're looking at 4 deals a month. And that's where, all right, again, it's not about 4,000, all right, I don't need to do anything anymore, but it's about we want to build that database, right, as quickly as possible within our budget, within our allowable finances. We want to get that database up to around 4,000 contacts, 4,000 leads as quickly as possible, all right? So once we got, to help work up towards that, all right, sending out PDF guides, all right? We have got PDF guides. I mentioned about doing ads with them. That is awesome. Those are awesome ads to do, but you can take those PDF guides, you can download them out of Listings to Leads. And I think John was using maybe Wise Agent. I'm not sure, Line Desk. I can't remember which CRM, but you could use KV Core, you could use Boomtown, you could use Real Geeks, whatever. It doesn't matter. Pretty much every CRM allows you to send an email with an attachment. All right. So John sent one of our guides to 300 of his coldest leads. Look at that second line. I downloaded the PDF and sent out as an email and text to 300 dormant leads. And I think you had a Calendly link in there, maybe. You got a 10% response rate. All right, a 10% response rate, 2 scheduled calls. I mean, how awesome is that? All right, so your database is sitting there, all right, ready to do something. And these kind of follow-up emails and stuff that you're sending out probably doesn't really cut it that much. So we've got, again, over 50 plus PDF guides in your account, split between guides for homeowners, right? 5 dangers of overpricing your home, a lot of them. Then we got a 25 plus for home buyers. So download them, start sending them out. I would try to send a buyer out week 1, maybe a seller week 2, a buyer week 3, a seller week 4, and just kind of rotate like that. All right. And come December 2022, rinse, lather, and repeat. Because no one in 2022 December is going to remember what they got today. All right. So just keep that in mind and start using those guides on and for your database. All right. Oh, here we go. A little screenshot of a few other covers there, a few other PDF guides. 12 mistakes to avoid in selling your home, first-time home buyers guide, 6 questions to ask before you sell your house. You get it? Awesome stuff right there. Another tool we got for your database, and this is really, really powerful as well, is the e-flyer for your database. All right. We have literally had clients use this tool and get 2 to 3 dozen engagement points out of their database. All right. These people were getting listing alerts. These people were getting their standard follow-up, nothing, right? The client sends this e-flyer for the database out, boom, they start getting leads out of their database. All right. Absolutely awesome. Because I'll tell you what, and sometimes it's funny because people think, what do you mean a lead out of my database? They're already a lead. They're in my database, which is fine. But if they're not talking to you, what good are they, right? If they're not engaging with you, what good are they? And that's where the PDF guides, that's where this tool right here, this e-flyer for your database, this e-flyer for your database typically gets 100% more opens and clicks than a standard listing alert or a standard follow-up, all right? It doesn't have to be your listing. If you're going to borrow a listing to market, you're going to borrow a listing to hold open, you can actually send this to your database if you've got one. All right. So awesome stuff right there. The last source of leads that we're going to talk about today is the seller sphere of influence. And this is so awesome, right? This is so awesome. Our client Dustin here, who gets 2 listings out of every listing marketed with Listings to Leads, been a longtime client, never used this tool for his sellers. And he finally, one of his sellers asked him for something to share on social media. So he sent her the email from Listings to Leads. With no other work, got a listing from a friend a couple of months later. All right. Now imagine if you just do this the way we tell you to do it, right? The way we train you to do it, you'll be getting more listings. You'll be getting more buyers. All right. So every just sold listing has an e-flyer and a social media post for the seller, right? And this is whether you're the selling agent or the listing agent, right? That just sold listing, right? Whether your buyer bought it or you're the listing agent, you can use this tool. And we have literally had clients send this out to the seller and have gotten 2-3 dozen leads for free before the Facebook ad is even done, right? They're literally generating leads, right, before the Facebook ad is even live. So this will be another one of those tools that we talk about when we get to the how-tos, but I do not want you to miss this tool. Sellers love it, their friends love it, and it's an awesome way for you to engage their database or their sphere via both email and social media. All right, so let's recap this. All right, 350 leads per month, 90 a week. You get that right there, the farm, the database, the sphere, and social media. For new agents, this is what it looks like: 75 from social media a week, 300 a month, 12 from your farm, 50 from your farm for the month. There's no magic bullet, but there is listings to leads. So we are now going to log into my account. We're going to walk through this. It literally will take about 15 minutes to do. Super easy, but you get more information at YouTube. I like YouTube, youtube.com/listings to leads. Our Instagram is awesome, instagram.com/listings to leads. And we've also got our blog, listingstoleads.com/blog. And of course, make sure you are in the mastermind group. Tons of great stuff there. We really invite everyone to get in the mastermind group because, again, a lot of great sharing there. All right. So any questions before we get into my account? All right. Everyone, does that presentation, hopefully that presentation helps lay a little bit of the groundwork for people and kind of give you, right, a little bit of like a path or a map as to what, why, and how. All right. So now here we go with that just sold listing. Let's start making use of what we just learned. So I'm gonna go to listings, and I've got 2 listings here. I got a just sold where I was a selling agent, and I got a just sold where I'm a listing agent. Now, if you have a listing that's just sold and it's not in listings to leads, click add listing. You have to add it manually, unfortunately. And all I'm gonna show you here is the fact that you can say just listed as a listing agent, or just sold as a selling agent, right? Selling agent is when your buyer bought it. Listing agent, obviously, is when you're the listing agent. Add that listing, and then it will populate and appear on the listing dashboard, right? So all you got to do, the same as any other listing, click the green market listing button. First thing we're going to do is a Facebook ad. So location, auto-filled, that's editable, and I can add more areas if I want to. The radius, right, pre-populated to 15 miles as it has to because it's a special ad category for housing. You can expand that if you want. We got lifetime for 50 bucks. All of this is editable, including the start and end date. I can change, I could upload a video. I could click change media. And if I've got a video for this, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, I could click the green upload button, upload a video, different image, whatever, you get the idea. But the only thing you really have to do here is click create ad. And that's going to send it to Facebook. And you're going to have an ad live on both Facebook and, in my case, I got Facebook and Instagram connected. So I'm going to have an ad live on Facebook and Instagram that collects name, email, and phone number for every lead. Right now, I'm going to click create ad one more time, and I'm going to challenge everybody, and I think you'll love this challenge if you actually do it. You see this video right here? I'm going to leave it off. I'm not going to play it, but this is me just talking about how I got my home, how I got the home sold. All right. I want you to run an ad with the standard image, right, like we saw before. So an ad that looks, like this for your just sold listing. But I would like to encourage you whether you do it out in front of the listing like this one, or maybe do it at your desk like a bomb video, but you just do something like, hey, this is Scott at L2L Realty, and we just got 1015 Riley Street sold with our 150-point marketing plan that got us 4 offers, closed above the asking price, and our sellers are super excited, right? You can do a video, 30 to 60 seconds long, talking a little bit about how you got the home sold. Was there anything in the escrow that you thought was interesting? Can you add value to a homeowner that maybe lives next door that is, not necessarily thinking actively about selling the house, but maybe they are thinking about selling the house actively. And by the time they get done listening to you, was there something that you imparted? Was there something that you shared that makes them think, you know what? Yeah, I want to call Lori up, and because I want to ask her about that. There's something that Lori just said there that I want to ask her about. Or wow, what Tammy said, that was so awesome. Or James, wow, no, that's the guy I want to sell my house when we get ready to list, right? So, and the reason why I like to do one ad, and you can do here, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 ads that you can have live at once, but I'm gonna recommend doing 2 ads. One's the standard one here, and then one with the video like this, and just see how they do for you, all right? You'll probably generate more leads without the video, but the one with the video might be a little bit better, might be some better leads, right? Because they will have seen you talking and all of that. So I really am going to encourage you to think outside the box, right? Do one ad like normal with an image, and then think about doing another ad where you get a video. And this video is my wife, right? So my wife had the phone and she's just standing there recording me. It took me about a half hour to do a 1-minute video, because I would burp, I would hiccup, I would lose my train of thought, a car would drive by, a dog would start barking, a lawnmower would start going off, right? I mean, when you're outdoors recording, there's a lot of things that can go mess you up, but it's also really cool to be outdoors, right? I love that vibe, that energy is really nice. But you could do that at your desk as well. Again, similar to a bomb video, all right? So that's my Facebook ad. If you got social media auto posting set up, I will show you. Here's Facebook. All right, so this is Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. So we can auto post to all of these platforms. And from any of these here, right, notice 694 is sold. Your home value has been affected by this home being sold. They can either text, in which case they'll get the mobile responsive virtual tour, or they can just click and go to.
Hello, this is Scott Pierce in Granite Bay. And
so right, there's the video that I did. But what's really awesome about all of these is the lead capture goes for seller leads. All right, so the lead capture, you put in your address to get your home value estimate. And it gets even better than that. Check this out. This is actually my bot from my Listings to Leads bot. I'm going to minimize that, but that's pretty cool. But I want to show you a couple of other lead capture here, because when you get leads from Listings to Leads, notice this is inside of your single property websites and virtual tours. So people can literally download these guides, and it says, do you own a home? Yes, I own a home. Boom. All right. And also this follow this home here. Yeah, so that gives the home value estimate. So again, watch your lead notifications from Listings to Leads for your listings, because you may have some that you assume are buyer leads, but they're actually seller leads. So just make sure you take a look at your listing notifications and know if it's a buyer lead or a seller lead, but really you should be calling them either way, right? You're gonna get buyer leads with phone numbers, you're gonna get seller leads with phone numbers. All right, any questions on that? All right, and there's a lot more. We can do retargeting, we can do custom questions, right? There's a lot of other advanced things you can do, but just to get started, just get the ads live, get the social media auto posting out there. Next up, share on the seller's social media. All you have to do here, all you have to do is click send a seller, put in the seller's email and salutation, right? So the email address for the seller, You can put 2 of them in there. All right, dear Ian, and right there, boom, save. Right, so I'm gonna hit cancel. I don't need that to go out again, but you get the idea. All right, and let's take a look at what this looks like. And again, now I'm telling you, this is so awesome because we've had clients where they put the name in there and then they leave and they kind of forget about it, right? They just forget about it and they come back later and they start getting all these leads. I'm like, well, where the hell did all these leads come from? I didn't do the ad yet. I just, did it auto posted, but whatever. And they're getting leads from the seller getting this, and the seller, right? Dear Ian, your home has been sold. We want people to know, right? And this is for every status, but man, don't we love the sold status? So the seller takes that and they go to their Facebook page and they just, now I'm in a group here, so it looks a little bit different. But imagine this being on your seller's Facebook page. This is the exact same thing that Dustin did to get that listing, right? This is what a lot of our clients do to get free, good quality leads, right? So if your seller does put that up on their Facebook page, make sure you pay attention, right? And so here's the deal. When the email goes out to your seller, you will be CC'd on the email. And so just like you see these emails I'm showing you here, and this one as well, you're gonna get CC'd. The email that the seller gets comes from your email address. So they're gonna think you sent it, all right? And I'm gonna do a quick little role play here. So James, I'm gonna pick on you, man. So you put in the seller's name and email, and you just got the email sent to you as well. And so I got the email, all right? And in fact, even in the email, it does say, we suggest that you call the seller up. And here's the role play based on just years of experience and what works, right? Hey, Ian, this is James over at L2L Realty. Just want to let you know, we're doing a ton of great marketing for your property, right? I'll role play just sold, and I'll also role play open house. So Ian, this is James at L2L Realty. Just want to let you know, awesome that we get your home sold. Thank you for trusting us to get this done for you. And I just sent you an email and something to put on Facebook so we can let everybody know that we got the home sold. Would love it if you can put that on Facebook and also share it via email. Let me know if you have any questions. Sellers love it, all right? And they really love it if you do it when the listing is just listed, active, open house, and even pending. Don't forget pending, right? It ain't closed until it's closed, right? You should keep marketing it until it's closed. We have an entire pending status platform. Make use of it, all right? So imagine, right? What are people, especially that just sold on Facebook, man, what do you think the seller's friends are gonna do? They're gonna be all over this like crazy. They're gonna be clicking on it, right? And all of a sudden, man, here you are talking about, how awesome it was to get the home sold. And they scroll down and then they start seeing all this great stuff. They see the PDF guides that you've offered in the single property website, right? They see the lead capture that's in here, right? They're able to engage with you, right? And the same exact thing with the e-flyer, the same exact thing with the Facebook post, all right? Everybody get that? So either be like or don't be like Dustin, however you want to think about it. Don't be like him, let it take you too long to start using it, but do be like him and use it, because you're going to see that you will get buyers and you will get listings from it. All right. One last thing I'll say about that is, if the seller, so once the seller puts it up on their Facebook page, I would just run in there, right, and leave a nice, easy comment. Hey, Ian, it was, and try to tag Ian, right? In this case, this Ian's not on here, but if you know how to tag people, right, use the ampersand and then start typing their name out. right? Maybe nothing too braggadocious like this is, but something nice, something easy, something just to kind of get the algorithm from Facebook churning so that it wants to then show it to other people. Because I tell you, this is such an awesome post for the seller's friends and colleagues and so on. And so when the friends and colleagues start commenting and posting and yada, 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 and start engaging with this, right? Don't be a stalker, but do check back in every so often. If they ask a question, if it was just a comment, again, don't jump all over your seller's Facebook page, but it would be, and it typically is appropriate for you to kind of jump in on this particular post a little bit here and there. You'll know your seller, you'll know their vibe, you'll know, hopefully, right, as a salesperson, you get a sense of the energy around it, and engage with that appropriately, all right? But this can be a fabulous, just an absolutely fabulous way to start getting in front of and engaging with the seller's sphere of influence via email and social media. And if you were doing this from the time it was just listed, imagine just listed, 1, active, 2, maybe did an open house, 3, the listing went pending, 4, just sold, 5. You had 5 opportunities for that listing to be in front of the sphere of influence of the seller and let them watch you go from getting it listed to getting it sold and being the hero, right? And that's what we want. We want you to be the hero. So share on seller social media, the e-flyer. Once you send it out, 1, they both go out together, right? So these 2 work together. Next up is a nearby homeowner letter. So this is what we were talking about for your farm, okay? There are 3 versions of it. Again, don't need to overthink it. It sits in the editor. So if I want to click edit, right? Now, check this out. Just sold, I'm gonna say, in 21 days and all right, so I can add a little, right? I can customize this letter a little bit. So we added in 21 days and multiple offers above over asking. Now I'm going to click download, and I'm going to show you why this letter, whether you door knock, whether you door drop, whether you mail it, and then also a robocall, this letter generates the best leads. All right, so here we go. 694 in Granite Bay just sold. You can get more information. So people can go to this URL and they go to the single property website. Boom, we love that. That's awesome. They can send a text and then they will get the same mobile responsive virtual tour sent to their phone. You will get the phone number. If you are not subscribed to our text service, the QR code will be on here. So they could scan the QR code. So we don't make you subscribe, because that is an extra charge for the text IVR. So if you don't want to do it, we recommend it, but if you don't want to do it, we do automatically include the QR code. And then notice we have your home's value has been affected by this one being sold. Then this goes to the free home values landing page, which we will see here. And this landing page has a lot of customization you can do to it. This landing page has a full screen video in the background. It could have video to the left of the lead form. The lead form could be a little bit smaller on the right side. So even this landing page has a lot of customization that you can do to it, all right? A lot of really cool things that you can do. But use this letter, all right? Now, one thing I just noticed, it looks a little, oh, where'd that letter go? Well, that letter looked a little funny having the over asking just kind of hanging like it did. And so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna format it and I'm gonna download again. And now hopefully that it'll just look a little bit better. I know I'm OCD, I apologize, I deal with it. But yeah, so anyway, see, to me, this looks a little bit neater like this versus having a long line and then 2 words on the second line, right? Does that make sense to everybody? All right, but now you have an awesome letter. Look at that, branded to me, good stuff, beautiful little letter. This is going to work. This is going to help us generate leads. Now, if I don't want to use the letter, you'll notice a little further down, there are postcards and door hangers. So we got EDDM Panoramic, EDDM Mega, EDDM, a couple of different versions. We got Jumbo Standard, we got door hangers, right? We got one-sided postcards, right? We got a few things for you, right? So kind of see what you think might work best for you, have at it. And there you go. All right, now the last thing you need to do is an e-flyer for your database. Now, typically, what I recommend is just copy code, go into your CRM. Pretty soon you will be able to use listings to leads follow-up plan, but I can do this with Wise Agent, with Boomtown, with Real Geeks, Line Desk, with any CRM, right? And they all work similarly. You go to create email blast, put in a subject line. So I'll say just sold and full sum. All right, hit next. And again, whatever kind of program you're using, they all work similarly, where they got the editor up here and there'll be a button called source typically, or it might look like this right here, right? Notice when I mouse over it, it says source. And I just click in that box and I paste all that code from listings to leads. I click source again. And now here we go. So now here's that e-flyer to send out to our database. And the e-flyer works somewhat similar as the letter does, right? The nearby homeowners letter. And I'm telling you, man, this e-flyer for every status, right? Hopefully my database saw it when it was just listed. Hopefully they saw it when it was an open house. Hopefully they saw it when it was just sold, because now they know, right? I'm an actual agent. I'm an actual realtor. I list properties, I sell properties, I get properties into contract, I do open houses, and that's the kind of stuff I want my database to see. And I want them to see within the context of understanding that when homes sell, other homes nearby, their home value is affected, right? Up or down, up or down. And this will give them a link to get their home value estimate. But the really cool thing about this email is probably half the leads you're going to generate are going to be just replies back, could be texts back, or they're going to text you off the email, or they're going to just reply back. They're not even going to click a link, right? Some will, right? Some people are going to click the link and they're going to go to the single property website like this. They're going to be able to watch, if you got the video like I showed you, they're going to be able to watch that. They're going to be able to get all the great information regarding the property, right? If they're a buyer, maybe they download how to find the best deals in your area. Again, all of these are branded to you. So James, Lori, Tammy, Chris, everybody in this call, wow, more people joined. Nice to see everybody. So all of these guides, even though you may not even knew you had them, they are all branded to you and they're all in your account, all right? So just a ton of engagement for your database. It's absolutely brilliant. All right. And once you get done at the first, we call it, the first 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you're done. All right. Doing a Facebook ad, 30 seconds. The social media post happened automatically. The seller social media, the time it took to put in the seller's email and column, let's call that 2 minutes. And the nearby homeowner letter, that's where you're going to spend your time. And that's really where you should spend your time. And to be honest, if I'm cheap, let me just put that right now. I am cheap. I would door knock. And Tamara, oh, I didn't know you're on the call. So good to see you. Tamara, who's on this call, right, it was about a year ago, or God, it's probably before COVID. I believe, if I got it correctly, she was using the letter, right, the nearby homeowner letter, and she literally had someone chase her down the street with the letter, right, because Tamara put it in the door to say, listen, I'm not ready to sell right now, but I will be selling, so stay in contact with me. And it was because she was walking the neighborhood, put the letter in the door, and now that person was like, wow, all right, let me chase her down the street, right, to let her know that I'm not ready to sell now, but I will be soon, all right? And then obviously use that e-flyer for your database. The e-flyer for your database should take you about 2 minutes. Again, copy the code, right? Log into whatever CRM you're using, right? open up an email, right, that you're going to send out to your database. Typically, they're called like an email blast or something like that. And then the kind of thing to remember is find the source button and click it, paste in all that, whatever you want to call it, code stuff. Click that button again and boom, bada bing, there you are. And then click send. Don't overthink it. Don't overanalyze it. Don't self-doubt yourself about it. Just do it. Just do it. You're going to get results. You're going to grow your business. Any last minute questions before I let everybody go? I want you to be thinking about adding all your just sold listings. If you get any just sold listings from really, I would say everyone's going to be different in the last couple of months. Maybe you joined Listings to Leads recently and you had a just sold listing that your buyer bought recently. Maybe you've been a client for a long time. You didn't realize, holy cow, I can add listings where I was the selling agent. Mic drop. All right. So again, if I go to add listing, manual, because it's not in the data feed anymore and it's nowhere where it can be grabbed, all you got to do, right? And notice, wait, for anyone that knows Kelly Wheeler, right? He's going to come out with some expired and FSBO, right? You can add FSBOs, you can add expired, so you can do some marketing to expireds and FSBOs. But for this webinar, right, you got your just sold where you're the listing agent, and you got just sold where you're the selling agent. And as you can expect, the verbiage, the language around that is a little bit different depending on whether you're the listing or the selling agent. All right. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. This will be up for everyone to start watching within about an hour from now. We really try to get these up as quickly as possible. I think we're going to try to email it to everybody, but we'll also, again, it'll be in the mastermind group and it will be on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/listings to leads. And if you are not a client, get yourself, what are you doing if you're not a client of Listings to Leads? Go to listings2leads.com, sign up for your free trial. We'll get your account set up. We will get you on our training. We'll get you going. And for everybody here, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody.